Coach Driving Diaries number 1. So it's a Saturday in February and just getting up at just gone 4 in the morning, ready for a road placement shift between Bath and Westbury. So after having a shave and getting dressed, time to whack the kettle on and pour myself a coffee and then have some cereal as well. And it's about an hour later in the car heading to the yard, which luckily is only about a 15-minute drive away. In the yard, then picking up the keys and getting the paperwork out the drawer. Got paste notes as well, which I don't need those. So firing up the coach, going to put the heating on as well, and then put the digital tacho in and do a manual entry, as we call it, which is proving that I had rest since the 11th, so that's because I had a week's holiday. So put it on to other work and then I shall do a walk around check. Afterwards I've emptied the water boiler and just about to refill it with fresh water so I can have a coffee out the coach throughout the day. Now the other thing is we are going to skip to Bath in a moment, mostly because I was going to film the bits to Westbury from the cab, but I couldn't get my GoPro onto the window suction attachment for some reason. I didn't have time to look into it. I had to get down to the station, so I had to fiddle with that later on. So 5 in the morning, think it was going to be an easy run to Bath, and well, how wrong was I? So this is the route overview of the road replacement route between Westbury and Bath. So that's Westbury on the bottom, and then there's 2 stations en route. That's Trowbridge, Bradford and Avon, and then Bath. So simple enough route when you're local, but what I didn't expect at 5 in the morning, coming along this road here into Bradford, was a police incident road closed sign up on the bridge ahead. Don't know if you can see it just in the far distance. The road goes up a little bit and goes over the canal. So someone managed to, well, I don't know, they managed to flip the car on the wall. They obviously took it at a rate of knots because it's a bridge on an S-bend. But luckily you got this place on the right, the boathouse. Again, being silly o'clock in the morning, there wasn't a string of cars going in and out, so managed to put the hazards on, reverse it into the entrance and come back down towards Trowbridge, where I then had to pull over onto a bus stop just to double check that the road closure was actually at the bridge and not in Bradford and Avon itself, and that way I could conjure up a diversionary route, which I know we've done before. Well, the road that I intended to go down, and it was this route here. So you could probably see where the red line starts and carries round in a loop. That's where the bridge closer was. So you can see that would have been the intentional route, the one that's in white, up to Bradford and Avon. So it's a case of coming back down into Trowbridge, across to Wingfield, up the Wingfield Road, into Bradford and Avon. Easy. So I got parked up on the Ambury in Bath, around the corner from the bus station really, and then it's time to make a coffee ready for the next run back to Westbury. Leaving the Ambury, heading back to the station now, the bus stop the other side of the road. This is a new setup actually, because before you used to rail, you'd use the end 3 bays in the bus station, but they stopped us using it this time, so it was a case of using the bus stop and then finding somewhere to park, but that was easy this time in the morning anyway, and I could head straight to the bus stop now, mostly because it's quiet and there isn't any other buses there, and the Airbus decker that uses it isn't due until I leave. So it's not far from here. This is the Southgate area of Bath. That's the bus station up ahead. All completely new. When I used to go to Bath as a kid, what was the bus station there was a wall, and the bus station was off to the left. All this on the left is I say new. I can't remember when they built the Southgate, but way past the 2000s. It's got to be 2010, I'd imagine, off the top of my head. But so the bus stop opposite is where we're dropping off, and this bus stop here is the pickup point. Got a bit of time before departure, booked off here at 7:40. I think I've got about half an hour here, roughly. So easy run back to Westbury. Surprisingly, I only had people for Bradford and Trowbridge, and there was no one at all for Westbury. So this is the last bit into Westbury. Just coming off Trowbridge Road, we're going to take the third exit right onto the Mead. And then a second exit, Rosefield Way. Third exit onto Station Road. And then left into Station Approach. Normally we'd sit down here, but obviously I don't have anyone on, so I could go straight on up to the car park. I'm going to have my break. There's a Barnes coach on standby there. Now, how people use this car park varies. Most of the drivers here have actually been driving left into the car park, down the bottom, doing a 180 and parking up on the left. I've never done that, to be honest, which, you know, there is no right or wrong way. It's just that I think I'm just used to the way that I've done it always, which is up to this mini roundabout, nosing it over to the right and then backing in on a left-hander. Because parking in the car park for coaches on a rail is, there's no designated area per se. It's just a case of finding a space that's out the way, making sure obviously you don't block the you know, the car park, the road in and out. So I just opted for this bit, empty bays here next to these couple of parked cars. So that's one round trip done. As you can see, I've scribbled in the times, actual times. On rail you don't actually have to do this. I just do it for my own reference really. So you can see on the way up we lost 10 minutes at Bradford and Avon due to that road closure, and left 5 minutes late on the way back. That's because I was waffling to the controller. Did the diversion at Bradford and Avon again because the road was still closed, but didn't lose any time for that, as you can see. So here's my next trip at 9:25, so a bit of time here at Westbury. Back to Bath for about 45 minutes, and then back to Westbury again. So walking through the coach, just checking for any lost property and any litter. Hit some crumbs on the back, so we'll get the dustpan and brush out for that in a moment. As you walk back, you'll be able to see the wheelchair set up on the left here as well. So there's space for the wheelchair, there's the clamps in place. Got 2 clamps on the back, 2 on the front. And here's the seats that we wheel forward, and the seats fold up. And then you lose 4 rows to accommodate the wheelchair, so it turns into a 43-seater. So, just going to relax now, have my lunch that I bought from Greg's in Bath. And then later on it's nearly time to go, so changing the destination display back to Bath Spa, and then head off to the front of the station to load up for the next run. So just one round trip left from here, the 12:50 to Bath, and then another about 40-minute break there, and then the last leg back from Bath to Westbury. So parked at the Ambury again, and using some working time now to give the dash a bit of a clean up. Top tip for any new drivers: if you are doing this, just remember your mode will need to be onto other work. I was okay at this point because throughout my journeys I've had 15 and a 30, and on my last trip now I've got lots of driving time and working time left, so it isn't an issue. So using some wet wipes to just take the bulk of the grime off first, followed by dusting over by the classic Mr. Sheen polish. Finally with the spray over with this Flash Dash cockpit spray, which gives a nice lemon scent as well. It also gives that cockpit a little bit of shine on the black bits on top. Afterwards I thought I'd try and fix my GoPro window suction, and I was going to show you how it doesn't lock in and what the problem is, but there you go, now it works. So I don't know, it wasn't doing that earlier, but there we go. So back at Westbury, and that's my duty done. So taking my digicard out. The reason for that is I have another driver taken over here. It's because the duty doesn't finish till midnight, and there's not enough working time to do that for one driver. So stuff the paperwork back in my bag, because doing it with one hand is quite difficult. And then getting the fleet car for the drive back to the yard, which from here is only 5 minutes, if that. And back at the yard, dump the car outside, then drop the keys off for that car, get the keys to my car, and then take the short drive home. And then it's back to bed at about 5:15 in the afternoon for a couple of hours kip, because frankly I feel like I need it. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and this, just bearing in mind that this is a trial episode, just an idea I had that I wanted to do. So I really hope you like this style of video, and if you do, that will give me persuasion to do more of these. So until then, I shall see you on the next episode. Take care, goodbye.